Washington at his Mar-a-Lago private club over the Thanksgiving weekend, President Trump appeared happy and relaxed, relieved to be away from the stresses of Washington. His mind was partly on the Russia investigation that had irritated him for months. But he insisted to friends that it would soon wrap up and clear him of wrongdoing. A week later, the guilty plea of his former national security advisor, Michael T. Flynn, seemed to shatter that hopeful prediction. The investigation hardly seems close to ending, and news that Mr. Flynn is cooperating with prosecutors sent shivers through Mr. Trump's team. While the legal danger remains uncertain, the investigation, at the very least, has wrought grievous political damage to his presidency. The fall of Mr. Flynn, who was once so close to Mr. Trump that he was considered a viable prospect to be his vice presidential running mate, came on a day that should have been a moment of triumph for the president. After months of stymied ambitions on Capitol Hill, he appeared to have secured enough votes to pass his tax cut plan in the Senate, advancing what, if it ultimately reaches his desk, will be his most far-reaching legislative accomplishment since he took office. In the end, the tax plan may resonate more powerfully with the public than the legal woes of a former presidential aide. At least Mr. Trump's team hopes so. But for the moment, at least, watching one of their own hauled before a judge dampened any celebration over developments in Congress. It raised uncomfortable questions about what Mr. Flynn might be telling the special counsel, Robert S. Mueller III, and it could easily distract a president not exactly known for a disciplined political and policy-making operation. These kinds of threats to the presidency cast a pall over all other activities in a White House, said former Representative Vic Fazio, Democrat of California. In this administration, it may lead Trump to become more unhinged and even less focused on the pressing issues of the day. Still, former Representative Mickey Edwards, Republican of Oklahoma, said Mr. Trump's unconventional political appeal might yet minimize the consequences that other presidents might have endured. In any normal White House, and with any normal basis for presidential support, the Flynn story would be crippling, he said. This president's support base is small but apparently unshakable, and with Republicans in Congress showing a frightening unwillingness to hold this president to account, I don't expect this development to change the behavior of either Congress or the president. Mr. Flynn was the highest-ranking current or former White House official to be convicted of a crime connected to his time in office since two national security advisors to President Ronald Reagan, John M. Poindexter